Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
The act of delivering a blow with the foot. An instrument of torture that is used to heat or crush the foot and leg. Cause to load, an operating system, and start the initial processes. Boot your computer. Compartment in an automobile that carries luggage or shopping or tools. The swift release of a store of effective force. What a boot! A form of foot torture in which the feet are encased in iron and slowly crushed. Footwear that covers the whole foot and lower leg. Kick. Give a boot to. Protective casing for something that resembles a leg. The act of delivering a blow with the foot. He gave the ball a powerful kick. Express complaints, discontent, displeasure, or unhappiness. She has a lot to kick about. Stop consuming. Kick a habit. Informal terms for objecting. Spring back, as from a forceful thrust. The gun kicked back into my shoulder. The backward jerk of a gun when it is fired. A rhythmic thrusting movement of the legs as in swimming or calisthenics. The kick must be synchronized with the arm movements. The swift release of a store of effective force. He does it for kicks. Drive or propel with the foot. Kick a leg up. Make a goal. He kicked the extra point after touchdown. Strike with the foot. The boy kicked the dog. The sudden stimulation provided by strong drink, or certain drugs. A sidecar is a smooth drink but it has a powerful kick. Thrash about or strike out with the feet. The act of delivering a blow with the foot. The team's kicking was excellent. A rhythmic thrusting movement of the legs as in swimming or calisthenics. The swimmer's kicking left a wake behind him. An instrument of torture that is used to heat or crush the foot and leg. An instrument of torture that is used to heat or crush the foot and leg. An instrument of torture that is used to heat or crush the foot and leg. Summon into action or bring into existence, often as if by magic. Put forward for consideration or discussion. Bring up an unpleasant topic. Raise from a lower to a higher position. Cause to load, an operating system, and start the initial processes. Make reference to. Look after a child until it is an adult. Bring up children. Cause to come to a sudden stop. Promote from a lower position or rank. Cause to load, an operating system, and start the initial processes. Compartment in an automobile that carries luggage or shopping or tools. Compartment in an automobile that carries luggage or shopping or tools. A long flexible snout as of an elephant. The main stem of a tree, usually covered with bark. The bole is usually the part that is commercially useful for lumber. The body excluding the head and neck and limbs. Compartment in an automobile that carries luggage or shopping or tools. He put his golf bag in the trunk. Luggage consisting of a large strong case used when traveling or for storage. A vigorous blow. He got a bang on the head. A conspicuous success. The party went with a bang. Have sexual intercourse with. Close violently. Directly. He ran bang into the pole. A border of hair that is cut short and hangs across the forehead. Strike violently. A sudden very loud noise. Leap, jerk, bang. The swift release of a store of effective force. They got a great bang out of it. Move noisily. The window banged shut. To produce a sharp, often metallic explosive or percussive sound. One of them banged the sash of the window nearest my bed. Criminal law. A pleading describing some wrong or offense. He was arrested on a charge of larceny. Move quickly and violently. A quantity of explosive to be set off at one time. This cartridge has a powder charge of 50 grains. The quantity of unbalanced electricity in a body, either positive or negative, and construed as an excess or deficiency of electrons. The battery needed a fresh charge. Cause to be agitated, excited, or roused. The speaker charged up the crowd with his inflammatory remarks. Psychoanalysis. The libidinal energy invested in some idea or person or object. Freud thought of cathexis as a psychic analog of an electrical charge. Demand payment. Will I get charged for this service? Direct into a position for use. He charged his weapon at me. Blame for, make a claim of wrongdoing or misbehavior against. He charged the director with indifference. Request for payment of a debt. They submitted their charges at the end of each month. Cause to be admitted. Of persons to an institution. File a formal charge against. The suspect was charged with murdering his wife. To make a rush at or sudden attack upon, as in battle. Give over to another for care or safekeeping. Provide, a device, with something necessary. Attention and management implying responsibility for safety. A special assignment that is given to a person or group. His charge was deliver a message. Heraldry consisting of a design or image depicted on a shield. A formal statement of a command or injunction to do something. The judge's charge to the jury. Attribute responsibility to. The tragedy was charged to her inexperience. An assertion that someone is guilty of a fault or offense. The newspaper published charges that Jones was guilty of drunken driving. The swift release of a store of effective force. Impose a task upon, assign a responsibility to. He charged her with cleaning up all the files over the weekend. Assign a duty, responsibility or obligation to. She was charged with supervising the creation of a concordance. An impetuous rush toward someone or something. The wrestler's charge carried him past his adversary. A person committed to your care. The teacher led her charges across the street. Cause formation of a net electrical charge in or on. Charge a conductor. Energize a battery by passing a current through it in the direction opposite to discharge. I need to charge my car battery. Enter a certain amount as a charge. He charged me $15. Fill or load to capacity. Charge the wagon with hay. Financial liabilities, such as a tax. The charges against the estate. Instruct a jury about the law, its application, and the weighing of evidence. Instruct or command with authority. The teacher charged the children to memorize the poem. Lie down on command, of hunting dogs. Make an accusatory claim. The defense attorney charged that the jurors were biased. Pay with a credit card. Pay with plastic money. Postpone payment by recording a purchase as a debt. Will you pay cash or charge the purchase? Place a heraldic bearing on. Charge all weapons, shields, and banners. Saturate. The room was charged with tension and anxiety. Set or ask for a certain price. How much do you charge for lunch? The price charged for some article or service. The admission charge. Turn red, as if in embarrassment or shame. Having an abundant supply of money or possessions of value. A speculator flush with cash. Sudden brief sensation of heat, associated with menopause and some mental disorders. Sudden reddening of the face, as from embarrassment or guilt or shame or modesty. Irrigate with water from a sluice. A rosy color, especially in the cheeks, taken as a sign of good health. The period of greatest prosperity or productivity. A sudden rapid flow, as of water. He heard the flush of a toilet. Rinse, clean, or empty with a liquid. Flush the wound with antibiotics. Make level or straight. The swift release of a store of effective force. A poker hand with all 5 cards in the same suit. Cause to flow or flood with or as if with water. Flush the meadows. Flow freely. The garbage flushed down the river. Glow or cause to glow with warm color or light. The sky flushed with rosy splendor. Of a surface exactly even with an adjoining one, forming the same plane. A door flush with the wall. A sudden forceful flow. The act of moving hurriedly and in a careless manner. Physician and American Revolutionary leader. Signer of the Declaration of Independence, 1745 to 1813. Urge to an unnatural speed. Don't rush me, please. Cause to move fast or to rush or race. Move hurriedly. He rushed down the hall to receive his guests. Not accepting reservations. American football, an attempt to advance the ball by running into the line. The linebackers were ready to stop a rush. Done under pressure. A rush job. Cause to occur rapidly. Act or move at high speed. We have to rush. The swift release of a store of effective force. He got a quick rush from injecting heroin. A sudden burst of activity. Come back after the rush. Attack suddenly. Grass-like plants growing in wet places and having cylindrical, often hollow stems. Run with the ball, in football. feel sudden intense sensation or emotion. He was thrilled by the speed and the roar of the engine. An almost pleasurable sensation of fright. The swift release of a store of effective force. Fill with sublime emotion. The children were thrilled at the prospect of going to the movies. Tremble convulsively, as from fear or excitement. Cause to be thrilled by some perceptual input. The men were thrilled by a loud whistle blow. Something that causes you to experience a sudden intense feeling or sensation. The thrills of space travel. Put out or expel from a place. Remove from a position or office. Make a mess of, destroy or ruin. Be in motion due to some air or water current. The leaves were blowing in the wind. An impact, as from a collision. A strong current of air. Spend thoughtlessly. Throw away. Provide sexual gratification through oral stimulation. An unfortunate happening that hinders or impedes, something that is thwarting or frustrating. Melt, break, or become otherwise unusable. An unpleasant or disappointing surprise. Show off. Leave. Informal or rude. Let's blow this place. Street names for cocaine. Be inadequate or objectionable. This blows. Forceful exhalation through the nose or mouth. He gave his nose a loud blow. Allow to regain its breath. Blow a horse. A powerful stroke with the fist or a weapon. A blow on the head. Be blowing or storming. Burst suddenly. Cause air to go in, on, or through. Cause to be revealed and jeopardized. The double agent was blown by the other side. Cause to move by means of an air current. Exhale hard. Blow on the soup to cool it down. Free of obstruction by blowing air through. Blow one's nose. Lay eggs. Certain insects are said to blow. Make a sound as if blown. Play or sound a wind instrument. Shape by blowing. Sound by having air expelled through a tube. Spend lavishly or wastefully on. Spout moist air from the blowhole. An instrument of punishment designed and used to inflict torture on the condemned person. Cause to regain consciousness. Return to consciousness. Restore from a depressed, inactive, or unused state. He revived this style of opera. Cause to regain consciousness. The doctors revived the comatose man. Return to consciousness. She revived after the doctor gave her an injection. Give new life or energy to. A hot soup will revive me. Be brought back to life, consciousness, or strength. Interest in ESP revived. A partition section, chamber, or separate room within a larger enclosed area. A space into which an area is subdivided. Something that agitates and arouses. He looked forward to the excitements of the day. The state of being emotionally aroused and worked up. His face was flushed with excitement and his hands trembled. The feeling of lively and cheerful joy. He could hardly conceal his excitement when she agreed. Disturbance, usually in protest. The feeling of lively and cheerful joy. Subject to torture. The deliberate, systematic, or wanton infliction of physical or mental suffering by one or more persons in an attempt to force another person to yield information or to make a confession or for any other reason. Extreme mental distress. Torment emotionally or mentally. The act of distorting something so it seems to mean something it was not intended to mean. Unbearable physical pain. Intense feelings of suffering. Acute mental or physical pain. The deliberate, systematic, or wanton infliction of physical or mental suffering by one or more persons in an attempt to force another person to yield information or to make a confession or for any other reason. It required unnatural torturing to extract a confession. Extremely painful. Covering for a person's feet. Clothing worn on a person's feet. Covering for a person's feet. A specific size and style of type within a type family. An enveloping structure or covering enclosing an animal or plant organ or part. The enclosing frame around a door or window opening. A person of a specified kind, usually with many eccentricities. A mental case. Printing. The receptacle in which a compositor has his type, which is divided into compartments for the different letters, spaces, or numbers. For English, a compositor will ordinarily have two such cases, the uppercase containing the capitals and the lowercase containing the small letters. The quantity contained in a case. The housing or outer covering of something. The clock has a walnut case. Bed linen consisting of a cover for a pillow. The burglar carried his loot in a pillowcase. A special set of circumstances. It may rain, in which case the picnic will be cancelled. An occurrence of something. It was a case of bad judgment. Enclose in, or as if in, a case. My feet were encased in mud. Nouns or pronouns or adjectives, often marked by inflection, related in some way to other words in a sentence. A comprehensive term for any proceeding in a court of law whereby an individual seeks a legal remedy. A person who is subjected to experimental or other observational procedures. Someone who is an object of investigation. The cases that we studied were drawn from two different communities. A glass container used to store and display items in a shop or museum or home. A person requiring professional services. A typical case was the suburban housewife described by a marriage counselor. A portable container for carrying several objects. The musicians left their instrument cases backstage. A problem requiring investigation. Perry Mason solved the case of the missing heir. A specific state of mind that is temporary. A case of the jitters. A statement of facts and reasons used to support an argument. He stated his case clearly. Look over, usually with the intention to rob. They men cased the house. The actual state of things. That was not the case. Remove the husks from. hard outer covering or case of certain organisms such as arthropods and turtles. Come out better in a competition, race, or conflict. The exterior covering of a bird's egg. The housing or outer covering of something. A metal sheathing of uniform thickness, such as the shield attached to an artillery piece to protect the gunners. Use explosives on. The enemy has been shelling us all day. Create by using explosives. A very light, narrow racing boat. Ammunition consisting of a cylindrical metal casing containing an explosive charge and a projectile, fired from a large gun. A rigid covering that envelops an object. The satellite is covered with a smooth shell of ice. Fall out of the pod or husk. The corn shell. Hit the pitches of hard and regularly. He shelled the pitcher for 8 runs in the first inning. Look for and collect shells by the seashore. Remove from its shell or outer covering. Shell the legumes. The hard, largely calcareous covering of a mollusk or a brachiopod. The hard, usually fibrous outer layer of some fruits, especially nuts. The material that forms the hard outer covering of many animals. The enclosing frame around a door or window opening. The casings had rotted away and had to be replaced. The housing or outer covering of something. The outermost covering of a pneumatic tire.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.